Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Efeni. Good morning, Emmanuel.
Good morning, Ruben. Good morning, Rufai. Good morning, Victoria Tundu MQ Abiola.
Good morning, Mr. Efeni.
Yes, I know you're not so fine, but you'll be fine.
Mr. Efeni just has to tell tales out of school.
Yeah, no, but you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Thank you.
Yes. Now, let's start the review with this day, Nigeria's newspaper of record. Now, the lead story, 24 hours after presidential directive to political appointees to resign. Emefiele meets Buhari. AGF, INEC, honor court summon as PDP. Others join CBN's governor's suits. Court orders accelerated hearing. Federal government directs ministers, heads of agencies, ambassadors, other appointees, nursing political ambition in 2023 to resign. Emefiele hails Buhari, charges him to be decisive too in tackling Nigeria's problem. Yes, this is the lead story. Emefiele visiting the president yesterday. Closed door meetings, what was discussed? Well, Emefiele will not reveal. But what he said, or what he did not say, said so much. When he was asked whether he had any news for the journalists, the State House press corps, he simply said, there's no news now, but there will be news. You heard me? I said there's no news, but there will be news. What news do we expect to hear from Emefiele? Well, I'm aware that the MPC meeting is coming up sometime this month, 23rd and 24th. Do we have to wait that long to hear from Emefiele? But in the context of his supposed presidential ambition, alleged presidential ambition, or strictly his presidential ambition, what Nigerians want to hear, whether he's running, he's ready to resign to run, or he has dropped his ambition to face his job as CBN governor in the light of various challenges in the economy and in the foreign exchange markets. What news should we get from Godwin Emefiele? Rufai, I know you want to say something on that. But let's just quickly look at some other newspapers and we'll come back to that story. Now, the Guardian newspaper, section 8412, appointees have today to resign or risk APC disqualification. Vanguard 2023, ministers who failed to resign on their own presidency. Now, the other major story, the Punch newspaper, 2023, Jonathan submits APC forms today. Emefiele shuns resignation, calls CBN governor entitled to stay in office 30 days to general election. Ozekome, yes, that's what Ozekome is saying. That's what he's pursuing in court. He has a job to do. He's defending Emefiele's position, and he will be paid for that job. So, I'm not surprised. That's what he's saying, and quoted by the Punch newspaper. Adamant appointees, UAPC, INEC, Yaya Bello submits nomination form. Buhari's resignation order to save APC candidates from loss. Presidency. The Nation newspaper, Emefiele meets Buhari as SGF clarifies quit order. Now, the New Telegraph newspaper, Southern PDP presidential aspirants jostle for VP slot. Excuse me. As odds favor North, National Working Committee positions must revert to South if not wins ticket. Body George, Pandef, North Party for jettisoning zoning. Now, the Daily Trust newspaper, ahead of APC PDP primaries, Naira crashes further as aspirants mop up dollars. US dollars sell 595 naira as black market as demand spikes. Experts predict dark days. BDC operators blame politicians. Yes, I think this is where the primary duty of Emefiele is taking a hit. The naira crashing. What is the CBN doing in the light of all these revelations that politicians are mopping up dollars? Daily Sun newspaper, 2023, federal government insists Malami, Ngige, Emefiele, and Mechi must go. Now, let's look at the foreign newspapers quickly so that we'll have some time to discuss some of these stories. The Daily Telegraph of UK, Frost, Prime Minister must brave it over protocol. Tough approach over Ukraine should be used to end deal, former minister says. Well, the issue of the Northern Ireland Protocol and the issue of Ukraine, enough for the Prime Minister to shoot, but it doesn't seem to be winning the battles at home. The Times of UK, Tories risk losing next election, Hunt tells Prime Minister. Former Cabinet Minister won't rule out leadership bid. Yes, Boris Johnson has a big mountain to climb if he is to guide the Tories to victory at the next election, according to the former Foreign Secretary Jeremy Hunt. And he's saying this against the backdrop of the fact that the Tories lost nearly 500 seats in the last week's local elections. And he said this is not just a mid-term blues or blip, that it's a reflection of deep concern voters have about the cost of living. And it's warning that unless the Tories are ready to promise huge investment in the NHS and promise tax cuts, they should just forget victory at the next general election. Yes.
They know now.
Ruben, Rufai, and Tundu.
They know what to do. I mean, the Tories know what to do. And I think the gimmick now is to save all those tax cuts and all those juicy packages to close to general elections time. That's when they're going to release. So that's the strategy. So, but they know all of this.
But it's not a very good strategy because Rishi Sunak in that recent interview was talking to Mumsnet, which is like a huge, demographic. He said he would be silly to help out now. He's going to wait till later. That is such a tone-deaf thing to say. I thought that was bad. And then more recent, we had this other MP saying that, the cost of credit crisis is exacerbated because people don't know how to cook and they don't know how to budget. So I can't stand victim blaming in any kind of ramifications. People are struggling, and you're saying, well, it's your fault.
Families should take cooking lessons.
But that's not even the point. That's not why.
On how to cook cheaply.
It's completely out of touch. People are already taking lessons. They already know how to cook cheaply. People are skipping meals. What on earth is he talking about? So it's that kind of rhetoric, apart from even just the biting reality of people not being able to make ends meet, that could cost the Tories the government of England, because you can't talk to people like that. Really, you can't. It's so patronizing.
But the sad thing is, they're politicians. They'll execute that plan close to election, and people will still fall for it. That's the sad part.
Okay, because people have short memories.
Yeah, but I just hope people don't fall for it.
But they might not. It also depends on the alternative, doesn't it?
And call the Tories, but I don't think Keir Starmer is a viable alternative, if you ask me.
That's the problem.
I don't think
it's the alternative.
No, Ruben, I have a particular question for you. You were saying Jonathan
personal question?
No, particular, not personal. Particular.
You sounded worried there for
Yes.
I was wondering.
No, particular question. Now you say Jonathan is far away somewhere. Somebody can submit his form for him. After all, somebody bought the form. And if I was a screening officer and I get Jonathan's form, what will I be screening? Jonathan, good to go. I know him, former president. I know his credentials. You don't need to screen anything there.
Okay, I don't want to make any further comment.
Okay.
Today is Friday. The submission of forms closed yesterday, right? May 12th. And the screening will be this weekend. By next week, we will have clarity on all of this. And then we'll know what the truth is. So enough of the speculations, and quoting of sources. Let's leave that. I wanted to talk about beyond politics. the fact that Nigeria has also been grappling with the issue of the Academic Staff Union of Universities.
Oh, I think
and
that's
Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics going on strike. And, there is a story somewhere in the papers today where we're being told that, the president is appealing to university teachers to consider the plight of students and then go back to the classrooms. Meanwhile, a body, a team, federal government team, including Senator Chris Ngige, is meeting with ASU.
The presidential aspirant.
Yeah.
No, it's part of his title now.
I'm just saying he's part of the team, meeting Minister of Labor and Productivity, meeting with ASU members. When the deadline for resignation is just a few days to this moment. So even if Senator Ngige and the others are able to reach any kind of agreement with ASU, let us assume, will it be of any moment? Will it be of any effect? However, some other persons, Emefiele and co, they're saying that the energy that the federal government of Nigeria is devoting to elections and electoral act, that if the same energy were to be devoted, even at this time, to the ASU crisis, students, university students have been at home for more than 75 days now. That maybe that should be, another major priority for the Nigerian government. Just trying to draw attention to that. The second thing also is that somebody
well, to be fair, it was on the front page of the newspaper, the Daily Independent, ASU orders may suspend strike soon as federal government intervenes.
Yes, well, there's a meeting, but they have not yet done so. Okay. The other thing, because there are specific demands, is the government going to meet those demands, or is the government going to make promises again, beyond the appeal? What will be the outcome of the meeting? Because many parents are concerned.
Or should ASU also not stick to everything being done before they go back to class?
The devil is in the details. Now, somebody was joking the other day that some of these presidential aspirants on the APC list and elsewhere who may not be on the list after the screening exercise, if some of them were told, I've obtained the forms, but they've now secretly, obtained senatorial forms for the Senate. So these they are unused forms. Is it possible to sell the second-hand forms at a reduced price?
That's true.
Because if you have taken the presidential form, 100 million, and you've taken the senatorial form, is there a provision, for example, in APC guidelines, that people can sell Kumbo forms that they have not used?
Do you want to buy?
Do you know?
Do you want to buy?
If you have not filled the form,
because I knew this
if
was
you have not filled the form,
was it going to come down to about 40 million?
No, but it was also about raising funds.
Yes,
it was also about
you can't sell the form.
No, you can't sell the form.
But we can't do second sales now.
No, but I'm serious. We should be. They should be doing
I
sales.
thought your 100 million was ready for Dr. Abati's form.
No,
I don't mind. If you give me a Kumbo form, it's just that the submission has ended now. So events have overtaken.
No, but they can give you special concession. No, they can't say
no. Well, for the APC, we really want to see how it pans out.
Yeah.
With all the big names alleged to be on the list.
Okay.
We need to
Thank
see
you
how
very
it pans
much,
out.
Thank you, Mr. Freddy. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too.